Lesson 8.2 is on solving two-step equations. With the solving two-step equations, we might add a third step on some of the problems like we did with combining like terms. So you may need to combine like terms, giving us 3 steps. That being said, the first step that we're going to do then for a two-step equation would be to combine the like terms if possible. So that would be our first step. Second step is to go ahead and get rid of any addition or subtraction to the side with a variable. You're going to do the inverse operations. In order to get rid of addition, we'd have to subtract. In order to get rid of subtraction, we'd have to add, so your inverse. Third and final step is to get rid of any multiplication or division done to the variable. This is your last step. So whatever is happening to x normally in this case, but it could be any variable, that is the last step to get rid of any multiplication or division. First example, we have 5x plus 1 equals 26. According to our 3 steps there, the first thing is to combine like terms. Well, if we look at the left side, 5x and 1 are not like terms. We cannot combine them. And the only thing on the right side is 26. So there's nothing to combine right now. So then we go ahead and jump down to step 2. Step 2 says to get rid of any addition or subtraction to the side with the variable. Well, here's the addition to the side with the variable. In order to get rid of plus 1, we'd have to subtract 1 from both sides. Equal sign lines up. Work down your paper. 5x would drop down. We have 1 take away 1. That would cancel out. Equal sign lines up. 26 take away 1 is 25. Third step, get rid of any multiplication or division done to the variable. 5x is being multiplied, or 5 is being multiplied into x, so therefore we need to divide by 5. What we do to one side we must do to the other. And we have x equals 5. You can go ahead and check your answer. We've talked about it before on how to check it. Go ahead and simply plug it back into the original equation here. So we had x is going to be 5, so we have 5 times 5 plus 1 equals 26. We have 25 plus 1 equals 26, and 26 equals 26, so this would check out. Go ahead and pause the video here, work through the next example. This one is very similar to the previous example. So go ahead and pause it and give it a shot. Now that you're back here, we have the first step in this problem would be to go ahead and subtract 2. The reason why we'd subtract 2 is we need to get rid of the addition there. When you work down your paper, you should have wound up with 3x equals 18. 3 is being multiplied into x, therefore we need to go ahead and divide by 3. After we divide by 3, we wind up with x equals 6. And again, you could go ahead and check that answer simply by plugging 6 in for x in the original equation. Example 2. Negative 4 equals 1/3 z plus 2. Step 1 is to combine any like terms. No like terms on the left or right side of the equation, so then we need to go ahead and get rid of any addition or subtraction. In this case, we need to add 2, get rid of the addition right there, because that is adding 2 to the side with the variable. In order to get rid of adding 2, we need to subtract 2. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. Notice that equal sign lines up again. Negative 4 take away 2 is negative 6. And we drop down 1/3 z. 1/3 is being multiplied into z. So in order to get rid of the 1/3 there, we'd have to go ahead and divide by 1/3, and we would do that to both sides. Negative 6 divided by 1/3 is negative 18, so we have z equals negative 18. Next example here, very similar to the previous problem. Again, pause our video here, look at how we did our previous problem and work through this problem. So go ahead and pause it. Now that we're back here, next thing we would do in this first problem, you should have subtracted by 8 on both sides. After you subtracted 8 on both sides, we wind up with negative 13 equals 1/2 z. Need to get z by itself. 1/2 is being multiplied into z, so therefore we would divide by 1/2. After we divide by 1/2, we find out that z equals -26. Example 3, we have 8 minus 3x equals 14. In this problem here, this is the side that we need to take care of. That's the side with our variable. Here's our variable. We know that -3 is being multiplied into x, and 8 here is positive, so 8 is really adding into -3x. So how would we get rid of the positive 8? Remember, you always check the sign out in front here. That's positive. So in order to get rid of that positive 8, we need to subtract 8. What you do to one side, we must do to the other. Number one error, normally right here. This we need to bring down. The thing that we bring down is a -3x. Bring that sign down. Equals 14 take away 8 is 6. Get x alone. In order to get x alone, inverse operations. -3 is being multiplied into x. So in order to get x alone, we need to divide by -3, and we would do that to both sides. If you don't divide by the -3, so if I were to take this negative out here, notice, yes, I get rid of my 3's, but x is still not alone. It has that negative sign. That's why you need to divide by the -3 to get rid of the negatives. So then you'd be left with x equals 6 divided by -3 is -2. Again, pause the video here. Go ahead and work through this problem. It's identical to the previous problem. Alright, our first step is to go ahead and subtract 5 from both sides to get rid of that positive 5. Working down our paper, we have -2x equals 6. To get x alone, we'd have to do the inverse. -2 is multiplying into x, therefore we need to divide by -2. Once we divide by -2, we have x equals -3. On the home stretch here, we have 2 left. These are what's new. We're actually going to apply all 3 steps here that we have down on our paper today. So if you look at the left side, 14 is alone. There's nothing there. Can't combine anything. But if we look at the right, we have 3 terms up here, and 2 of them we can combine. So we're bringing our previous lesson of combining like terms. We have a -k and a positive 3k. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this. We have 14 equals, we can add those terms together. Remember, this is really a 1k, so we have -1k plus 3k is going to give us 2k, and I'm going to go ahead and drop down the -2. Once you combine like terms, you jump to step 2, which is to get rid of any addition or subtraction. So to the side with the variable. Here's the side with the variable right there. So on that side, what I need to get rid of is the -2. So I would add 2 to both sides. I wind up with 16 equals, I drop down my 2k. Those terms would cancel out. And I need to get k by itself. In order to get k alone, inverse operations, 2 is being multiplied into k. So I need to divide by 2 to both sides, and I have 8. 8 equals k. Go ahead, jump on to that next problem over there, and work through this as well. Oh, there's asking for us to check our answer here, so I'll do that real quick. We have 14 equals -k. What was it? Plus 3, I believe. Plus 3k minus 2. We found out that k equaled 8. So plug 8 in for k. We have 14 equals negative. In for k is 8 plus 3, and in for k is 8 minus 2. 14 equals -8, and then we have plus 3 times 8 is 24 minus 2. 14 equals, well, we have -8 plus 24. -8 plus 24 is -16. Negative 16 take away 2 is 14. So again, it would check out there. Go ahead and pause the video and work through this next example. Alright, now that we're back, first thing that I would take care of is step 1 would be to combine my like terms, negative n and a positive 4n. That would give us 3n. So we have 10 equals 3n minus 5. Next step would be to add 5 to both sides, giving me 15. 15 equals 3n. Next, go ahead and get n alone, so I would need to divide both sides by 3. After I divide both sides by 3, I would wind up with n equals 5. This will conclude day 1, 8.2, solving two-step equations with combining like terms.